Today on Pater Slayer, we're going to be talking about Nightwing, Secret Empire, and Red Sonja, and a whole lot more, guys. So stay tuned for Pater Slayer Season 2, Episode 2. Yes, Frontline fans, welcome back to Pater Slayer. This is Episode 2, Season 2, and this is the video series where I take a random of 10 comic books that I read for the week, and I share with you guys if you should pay for the book or if you should slay that book. And every once in a while, there's a book that's so bad, I might actually truly slay it. So, will there be any books today that will be slayed? We'll find out. So with that being said, guys, let's just jump right into it and start with our first book that we'll be talking about. And our first book is, bam, Weapon X, issue number 7. That's right, guys. Now, if you read the whole Totally Mass Destruction or Mutant Mass Destruction crossover with Totally Awesome Hulk and the new Weapon X series, this plays right off of that. This continues it pretty much, but just in the Weapon X book, not in the Hulk book anymore. So, when I actually opened up this book, I was pleasantly surprised because it literally continues the story and it describes what happens, what's going on with Weapon H, which is the big gray Hulk creature with Wolverine claws. And we find out that Weapon X, or the former Weapon X, is after him. And they have no home base anymore. They run on vehicles and things like that. The scientist is like under arrest. And at the same time, you have Wolverine and his crew looking over or trying to find Weapon H as well. This is a really good book, I thought, in my opinion. It was good to see Weapon H as like his human form. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in due time. If this character is going to continue in the Marvel Universe or is actually going to drop off. The artwork continues to be pretty good. It's cool to see all these different mechs and things like that. And by the time you wind up getting to the end of this book, you wind up seeing Wolverine and the crew come across our big Hulk, and it looks like that they're going to do a battle with each other. So I really like this book. I like Weapon X overall, so I definitely say pay for the book. Alright, so let's go on to our next book today. And our next one we're going to be talking about is Spectacular, or Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 3. As you can see here, we have the Kingpin that's on the cover. And in this issue, you wind up seeing just that. You wind up seeing Spider-Man confront the Kingpin in this issue. And he has his little scepter that he has with him that creates multiple versions of the Kingpin. And Spider-Man is just pretty much getting his ass beat in this issue. We wind up seeing his sister, Teresa, or his sister, working with Peter and the Human Torch to come across this whole issue with the phone situation and whatnot, and they're trying to protect her against S.H.I.E.L.D. from being captured as well because she's got this secret hidden data in her bloodstream. But the thing that was key in this issue is that she actually becomes a superhero. So she winds up getting Falcon-like wings. She gets these big guns that change like into stun guns or ice beams or whatever it is. And she winds up getting this adopted name for right now. They call her the Good Punisher, which is funny because they couldn't come up with any type of name. And by the time you wind up getting to the end of this issue, you wind up seeing the Tinkerer getting involved, and he's working with the Kingpin here. And which is funny because you have the Kingpin's brother that's working with Spider-Man, and now, you have the Tinkerer's brother who's working with Spider-Man and the Tinkerer working against Spider-Man. So I thought that was pretty neat. And it was cool to see how smart the Kingpin was to try to avoid his capture by the police. So I say definitely go out and pay for this book. I personally like it, but I think you have to have a particular taste for Zdarsky's writing for the character. And I don't mind it. I think it's okay. Personally, I think it's better than the Amazing Spider-Man currently right now with Dan Slott. So again, pay for the book. All right, next book we're going to be talking about is Nightwing, the New Order. This is issue number 1. This is a mini-series. This is a book that actually takes place into the future. I think it's like 2035 or something like that, some weird time frame. But Nightwing's old. He's an older man. He has a son, and he's trying to protect his son, well, I guess others too, against metahumans. So he winds up coming up with this medication or whatever that suppresses everyone's meta powers. And if you're not on this medication, you will be arrested. And he's this commander, this chief of what's going on here. And people have learned to agree with it. But the thing is that his closest allies have gone against him. Now, the kicker of this issue is by the time you get to the end of this issue, Nightwing winds up finding out that his son has meta powers because the person that he married was a meta, but we don't know who she actually is yet. And we just see a brief glimpse of his son who has these particular powers. This makes for a great and interesting, different type of story, and it's good to see, you know, Nightwing into the future and what he looks like and things like that. And I like these future stories. So if you like that too and you want to see a different Elseworld type of story, I say pay for the book. It's definitely worth it. It's not a Secret Empire ripoff in any shape or form. It's its own story, and it's really good. All right. Next book we're going to be talking about is, speaking of Secret Empire, this is Secret Empire issue number 9. This book was almost kind of like a continuation of the last issue. We wound up finding out, though, basically that the key thing is where Captain America is. And basically, he is a memory in Kobik's mind, and he tries to get Kobik to send him back, but Kobik is scared, and she kind of runs off. As the issue progresses here, the other part of the story is you wind up seeing just the heroes kind of continue to gain momentum here, and we get to see all the heroes fight together, which is good, including the champions. The book has a nice set of humor in here between Taskmaster and what is it, Dark Ant, I think his name is. And you get to see these heroes almost coming through. They're starting to prevail. But then at the end, we wind up seeing that, of course, Captain America, Hydra Cap, has the Cosmic Cube, and he basically inserts it into this armor, and now he's this huge-ass mech-like type of character, and Earth's Mightiest and all the other heroes have to do battle against Cap. So, and it looks like it's going to be Sam Wilson Cap versus the original Cap and all the Avengers. So, really good. So, basically at this point, if you've been reading Secret Empire, you have to pay for the book because you want to see how it ends. The one true thing I gotta give it to Marvel is that Secret Empire has been on time. So give Nick Spencer and all the artists a lot of credit for making sure that this book has been on time. And it's like every 2 weeks, every week we've been getting an issue. Give my hats off. All right. So next book we're going to be talking about is, bam, Red Sonja, issue number 8. I couldn't tell you how much I am enjoying Red Sonja right now. Amy Chu's writing in this book is brilliant, and the artwork by Carlos Gomez is just as brilliant. He brings the character to life like I couldn't even explain. Red Sonja's facial expressions, actually all the characters' facial expressions are absolutely gorgeous. The colors are absolutely gorgeous in here. And it's just a great book to look at while you're reading it. And the key thing is we get to see Red Sonja now, who is being investigated by the FBI because she took out a biker gang's head, like she decapitated him. And we wind up finding out that they're going to Texas to find the leader of this huge-ass gang. And what happens is they get into this, she winds up getting arrested because the ride that they were using, they wind up just getting into a big brawl fight with some bikers, some more bikers. So they wind up getting thrown in jail, and we wind up finding out that Holly, her dad, is the judge in Texas, and they wind up going back to their house and living it up in a big Texas house. And they couldn't ask for more great living than that, but then they wind up leaving and abandoning the mom. And the mom's like, they took the Lamborghini, and they're like loaded and everything. The book is mixed with great pacing, with nice dialogue, nice artwork, good story. It's just awesome. You get to see the other character that they're looking for, which is his name is Max, who they kind of role reverse, because Red Sonja now is in actually, you know, or in the Earth realm or whatever it is, and Max, which was the person that was helping her, winds up going back to her world, and so it's a world reversal, and she's just looking for him now. It's a good book, guys. That's what I can say. I definitely say pay for the book. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't read it, maybe they're going to come out with a trade for it. I'm not sure. But it's good to see a displaced Red Sonja, because she's just trying to fit into Earth. And I think it's so great to see her do that. So definitely, again, pay for that book. All right. Next book we're going to be talking about is Hi5 Fight Club, issue number 1. This is another book that surprised me. This one is written by Boom Studios, and it's about these girls that work at this particular record shop. Now, this girl's name, the main character, is Chris, and the book takes place in 1998, so that's why it kind of takes place there, because you don't see any music shops anymore. And you wind up seeing that she's kind of the new girl, and she's trying to fit in, and the other girls are kind of not letting her in. But when they actually have this event that's going to happen at this record shop, we wind up finding out that one of the band members is missing. So, little do we find out, when you press the button on the jukebox, it moves to the side, there's a secret entrance into the basement, and the girls are a vigilante club. And they're going to go and look for this band member. And you're just like, what? What the hell is this? But not only is the story different, but the characters are they're a lot of fun. You get to see them interact with each other. And the artwork is gorgeous. It has this anime type of style, but it's just so much fun. And I love this book. This was like the surprise book of the week for me. So if you haven't tried Hi5 Fight Club yet, check out issue number 1. I say pay for the book. You're not going to be disappointed with it. It'll be really interesting to see where this book truly goes into the future, like how deep it will go into their vigilante fighting, if it will get darker or if something will happen. That's what I'm really curious to see. So Hi5 Fight Club, issue number 1, pay for the book. All right, next book we're going to be talking about is XMen Gold, issue number 10. Now, I was really excited for this issue because back in the 90s, Omega Red was all the shit for me. I love this character who sucks like souls out of you, and he wraps you with your arms, and he's just this Russian bad guy, and he's just crazy. And the book opens up with this very horrific feel as you see Omega just tap into this girl's soul, and he absorbs her, you know, her essence, and it's just like, wow, that's pretty badass, you know? And then you find out, obviously, it's only temporary. He's just like, he's only resurrected because of a spell. The rest of the issue sucked. It was pretty boring. It was, you have Ileana, or not Ileana, well, Ileana and Colossus's uncle all of a sudden reach out, and we wind up finding out that they got to go to Russia to meet with the family, and Ileana, Colossus does, and Logan and everybody does, and we wind up finding out that they come across these people that have these magic powers, and they do this battle. And Ileana, who's like one of the strongest magic mutants that there is, she winds up getting captured for whatever reason, and it looks like Omega Red's gonna have his way with her. And it was just like, but it was a very like boring and almost pointless issue. Like, where are they going with this? There's no real, true direction with X-Men Gold. There's at times good stories with it, but it's not in a real direction. Like, where are these characters going? The only thing that you get any type of hint for the story overall is their relationship. Like Rachel Grey and Nightcrawler, and you wind up seeing, obviously, Colossus and Kitty's relationship grow. But again, we don't know where the story's really going. And it's just weird. There's just these random things that happen. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to continue to pay for the book. I'll let you guys make the call on this one. What do you think of XMen Gold? Do you want to pay for it? Do you want to slay it? You make the call. Alright, next book that we're going to be talking about is Action Comics, issue number 986. This is kind of like a filler story arc. Superman's doing battle against the Machinist. Lex Luthor is using the mother box technology in his suit, and the more he uses it, the more, he becomes like Darkseid. So you get to see this crazy battle with him and Lex Luthor. The artwork is like off the wall in this. You got like Superman's eyeballs popping out. You got like Lex Luthor like sweating his freaking brains out in his costume. It's insane. You wind up actually seeing him like become Darkseid in this issue just for a brief moment. But it was all on purpose because they know that if they could overload the technology, he would come back to Lex Luthor. But that wasn't the real thing that made me say, okay, what's the importance of this book? By the time you wind up getting to the end of this book, you wind up seeing Oz at the end of this book, and he winds up frying the shield off of Lex Luthor's costume. And he's just basically saying, you wish you could be him, you could never be him, and you're insignificant, and soon you will be gone. And then Mr. Oz just walks away, and it was just like, holy crap. So really this gears you up for obviously the next story arc, which is the whole Oz thing. And obviously it says it right here at the end of the page. It's just like Mr. Oz's true identity revealed in the next issue. So that's what gets you pumped for it. So obviously you're going to pay for the book because you want to see what's going on with Mr. Oz and this whole Doomsday Clock thing. But the overall story, this part of the story, was just, it was filler. It was mainly filler. And again, the artwork was crazy in this book. I mean, veins popping out, big-ass freaking guns, insane. But, hey, the ending was the payoff. Alright, next book we're going to be talking about is Edge of Venomverse, issue number 5. You know what I found out about Edge of Venomverse? And I keep on giving these issues a try, but they're just a waste of time. This one is about Deadpool out of all things, and there's this tapeworm that infects all these people, and they're freaking got worms coming out of their heads, and their heads are moving around with these tapeworms, and then he becomes Venom because he gets infected with this tapeworm, and it's just this big overall just stupid mess. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, look at the artwork in this book. It's just dumb. There's no point to Edge of Venomverse. Every single character winds up with freaking Captain America again, and then all I can say is that you have to slay the book. Slay it. Get rid of it. Throw it in your trash. There's no point for Edge of Venomverse. Any of the issues. If I had them accessible for me right now, they would be all in the trash. Yeah, so my garage is a mess now because I got papers all over the place. So now I got more cleaning to do. Don't buy Edge of Venomverse. Waste of time. Alright. Last but not least, Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly, issue number 6. So we have Ben, who's trying to cure this chick, this little girl, from this disease that supposedly is incurable. So, in the last issue, you wind up seeing this big-ass fight that happens between him and Scarlet, or him and, Kane, and Kane just sits there and agrees and says, I'll let you cure the girl. Okay, fine. So, this issue opens up with some random people in Vegas, just shoots people for fun. They just do it. They're just like, bam, you're dead. Ha! That's cool. I think it's fun. They feel powerful because they have a gun. You see this random chick in here that claims to be Rick Jones's wife. But you really don't know who she truly is. And she winds up somehow finding Ben and saying, hey, you have to stop these guys. They're up to no good. But right before that happens, you wind up seeing Ben, who injects this medication into this girl's bloodstream. And he says, you know what? This is going to slow down the process so you'll live longer. Okay, fine. So out of nowhere, Kane is swinging, and he's like, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I let Ben just go out there and do this. Fuck that. I'm going to sit there and go after him. Now, this is the last thing. I don't know why I let him try to cure this girl. I'm just going to kill him now. It just made no sense. I was like, okay. The girl dies. I did not see that coming whatsoever. Then you wind up seeing these other random people, these people that shoot people in the street. They wind up just shooting this lady who has a baby. They're like, oh, I'm going to shoot the lady that has the baby. And you see them shoot her in the kneecap. She gets shot in the arm. I'm just like, oh my God, this is getting pretty freaking violent. I would never expect this from a Scarlet Spider book, like especially a woman with their child. And you wind up seeing Spider-Man or Scarlet who winds up saving the baby. And then once again, he grabs that gun and he looks like he's going to shoot somebody. And the girl winds up saying, hey, don't shoot them. Don't go to their level. That's not going to help you, whatever case or form. And then we wind up seeing Rick Jones's wife winds up coming up again. And he's like, who are you? He's like, why do you keep popping up like this? This makes no sense. And I was just like, this is weird. It was just a weird issue. I didn't expect the direction that it went. And the artwork changed on it as well. We wound up seeing the artist, and I wonder if it's just this issue. It's Will Sleaney, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the artist who does Spider-Man 2099. So, is this the future of this book, where you have Peter David that writes it, and Will Sleaney who does the artwork? It's just like Spider-Man 2099, except now you're writing Ben Reilly, and the artist is the same thing. So, it's just a rehash of Spider-Man 2099. I hope it doesn't go to that direction. And it will be interesting to see now what happens with this girl that died. I did not expect her to die in this issue, ever shape or form. So I'm just curious to see what happens going forward with this book. The ramifications of this girl's death. Why Rick Jones' wife is in here. Who is she? If the artwork is going to continue to suck, I don't know. We'll see. But, so for now, I'm going to pay for the book. There you have it, guys. There is Season 2, Episode 2 of Pay It or Slay It. Now it's your turn in the comments below to tell me which books you want to pay for, which books you want to slay. And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Frontline. Don't forget to check out all the others' reviews on here. Don't forget to check out our website, which is comicfrontline.com. And don't forget to check out our live show that happens every Tuesday night starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about our comics top 5 of the week, the comics worth of news, and we just have a good old time on there, guys. So again, thank you for watching and supporting Comic Frontline. And until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. See you soon, guys.